I want to start off with the fundamental idea. Everybody in here agrees that if somebody is here illegally and they commit crimes, get them the out of here, right?
Yes.
Get them the hell out of here. I can start with the fundamental idea that if somebody is here illegally and they commit crimes, they should be sent to another country's prison. And I'm a libtard. By all standards, I'm a libtard and I believe that. But that is not what the Trump administration is prioritizing. They have reallocated funds meant for the deportation of criminals towards the deportation of farm workers, the deportation of people going to the courthouse. Trump made a True Social post. Listen, Trump made a True Social post where he said, all the great farmers of Iowa just called me and said, I'm deporting too many of their... Did that happen? Did he make that True Social post?
Yeah, unfortunately, he stopped deporting them, but he should have continued deporting them.
So your issue right here is that you always say liberals are taking these 80-20 positions, and you're not quite there, but you're getting closer to the 80-20 position than we are. 70% of Americans want a legal pathway for people who are here contributing to the country. And what Donald Trump is doing, one more point, what Donald Trump is doing is criminalizing asylum en masse and prioritizing the deportation of farm workers and other people.
Adam, most of the illegals are asylum seekers, or are they economic migrants?
Wait, listen to what you just said.
Yeah.
Most of the illegals are asylum seekers. Asylum seeking is not illegal, Michael.
No, it's not.
Is asylum seeking illegal?
That's what I'm asking.
That's a pathway.
Oh, sorry then.
The people that we would call illegal aliens, non-citizens in the United States who aren't on a green card, who are not here on a visa, are most of them asylum seekers, or are they economic migrants?
What percent of the people deported...
You're not going to answer that question because you know the answer.
Wait, no. What percent of the people deported have had criminal violations? It's only 30 to 40%.
Yeah.
So 60% of the people deported have no criminal violations. Guys.
They're not rounding up.
Can I test the audience? Can I test you guys? If somebody comes over here and seeks asylum and what they try to do is build a better life, build a family, and they're working on a farm, do you guys think there should be a path to citizenship to become an American? That is the antithesis of what America stands for. You guys are anti-American then.
Yeah, you are.
You are anti-American. Welcome to the craziest debate I've ever done. You're going to want to watch until the end because my co-panelist Ceci and I expose a lot about the MAGA supporters' brain rot that you're going to want to know about. I debated right-wing commentator Michael Knowles in Nashville. This was recorded in a bar on the Broadway Strip, and as the MAGA crowd gets more drunk, and as I drink a little bit, it gets more and more heated. So stick around until the end. Make sure you drop a like to help boost the video and follow the Adam Mockler feed. Thank you for watching. When do you think Liberation Day tariffs went into effect?
Well, it was a process, and they're still going into effect now. But they began in April of this year.
The announcement happened in April of this year, but Trump does this weird thing where he makes tariff announcements, but he doesn't actually enact them for like 2 weeks to 90 days. And I think we can all agree with this fundamental idea that Trump's tariffs have been confusing. Trump's tariffs have been pushed back over and over, but the reality is the Liberation Day tariffs, the most radical tariffs that he announced, didn't go into effect till August 7th because he put in a 90-day delay. August 7th was 14 days ago. So you guys are going to rest your whole claim on the fact that tariffs haven't caused inflation, but the tariffs just went into effect. But I also want to point out the fact that Trump's tariffs have no rhyme or reason. If you want to argue that we have trade imbalances in America, I wouldn't disagree. But that is not what Trump was remedying. How is remedying trade imbalances putting tariffs indiscriminately on every single country? Do you know what country has the highest tariffs right now?
Is it like Mauritius or something crazy?
It's Brazil, but not even to rebalance trade because of Bolsonaro was being targeted. So what I'm making my point here is that Trump's tariffs have not been to intentionally or targeted help the economy. What they have been doing is a lever for him to help Bolsonaro, to use corruption, a lever that has not helped the American people. Tariffs are inherently inflationary, which you'll agree. Tariffs are inflationary.
Not necessarily.
Well,
they can be, but they're not necessarily.
Who pays for it, right? It goes down to the consumer.
They largely are inflationary because at Customs and Border Patrol, that is when it's collected by American companies. So I just want to wrap this up. I think that Trump's tariff policy has been an unmitigated disaster. It has been awful. And
I agree with your points that that's confusing. I think that was intentional. I agree with your points that some of the measures for implementing them seem arbitrary. I also think that was intentional and effective. But I guess my question is, let's get specific here. You say they've been a disaster. By what economic measures have they been disasters?
There's a few. PPI just came out and showed that vegetables are up by 38% over the past month.
Why do you think PPI went up?
Why do you think PPI went up? There's a few reasons. It could be tariffs. It could be weather. PPI is the producer price index, which is how producers are counting what things cost and what they're selling to people. But overall,
why did it go up?
Vegetables went up 38%, a combination of weather and tariffs.
Weather and tariffs. Is there maybe a third possibility that's correlated with PPI going up? The fact that we just hit the highest stock market ever recorded in the month of August, which is correlated with higher PPI.
You want to know why we have the highest stock market?
I don't even care why we did. I'm just pointing out that's why PPI went up.
No. You can claim the highest stock market is impressive, but you know what's impressive to me? Trump took office and crashed the stock market on Liberation Day, and it didn't recover until he reversed the tariffs. So the only reason the market
He
is
didn't
up...
reverse the tariffs. You just said the tariffs are being implemented right now.
He put a 90...
in a capricious and
He
in
put a
large way that's
90-day
damaging the
pause.
country.
Let me finish. He put a 90-day pause, which confused people to such an extent that nobody believes him. The stock market is hitting all-time highs at 7 months into his presidency, which is not impressive. It was
As
hitting
the
all-time
tariffs are being
highs
implemented, as you just admitted.
because nobody believes him anymore. Not a single person believes that Donald Trump is imposing tariffs, that they will start. You didn't even know when they started. The guy who was saying, I
I
didn't
just
know
told you when
research...
I told you they were being
You didn't
implemented
mention-
successively, and they began in April. I gave you the precise answer. As
Did you say August 7th?
No, but
You did not say
they
August
began
7th.
to be implemented within
So you
weeks
agree
of
with
the
my
Liberation Day
fundamental
announcement in April.
You agree with my fundamental axiom that tariffs have been confusing? Have they
Intentionally.
yielded any results?
Yes.
What?
Okay. Well, here are the results. Because there are three things that tariffs can do. Tariffs can raise revenue, tariffs can get you better trade deals, and tariffs can boost manufacturing.
All of those things are contradictory.
Yeah.
Exactly. So this
What are you
is what's so
talking about?
amazing, because you make such a great point, Adam. If you get the better trade deals, usually you don't get the revenue, you don't get the manufacturing. If you get the manufacturing, usually you don't get the trade. You don't get the revenue because it's not coming in. Right. Now, what's so strange about Trump's tariffs is that we have raised a lot of revenue, $100 billion since April.
Wait, why is the deficit still increasing at a massive rate? What the hell?
The budget deficit?
Yeah.
Well, because we're only, as you point out,
wait.
like 2 months into the tariffs.
No,
But-
Trump
but-
claims that he's raised $3 trillion or something.
Don't distract.
Right?
Don't distract.
Okay, go for it.
$100 billion in tariffs. That is more than twice. That's 2.5 times the historic average. So we are raising revenue at a huge clip. Then manufacturing activity is at a 3-year high.
No, it's not. No, it is not.
It is at a 3-year high.
By this point in Biden's
Yes.
presidency, we had added 200,000 manufacturing jobs. We've lost 28,000 since Trump took office.
Manufacturing activity today, August 2025,
Nope.
is at it is. I mean, I don't know. Look it up in the.
Look it up. Manufacturing has dropped
It's
under Trump.
it's at a 3-year high, so that means that it's signaling you're getting further growth. But the craziest thing is the trade deals have been insane. We just closed a deal with the European Union. We tariff their goods. They basically don't tariff our goods, and they're investing $600 billion in the country. So Trump managed to get all three objectives of tariffs simultaneously, and the economy is at an all-time high, and employment is full. There is no economic indicator that has gone down under Trump. It's all at highs.
But I noticed that all the time the market is brought up when in reality the average American, sometimes the stock market isn't what affects them. Like not everyone's playing into the market. The
Well,
average American.
Can I ask you a question, Michael?
I mean, the average American
Mo-
is not pay, like that's
Most
not
Americans
reality.
have retirement accounts and pensions and that sort of thing.
But-
so in that way, they
I want to be
interact with
fair
the
and
market.
reply to
Yes.
your EU point in just one second, but I want to ask you the question. When you cite this $100 billion raised, who is that raised from exactly?
It's raised from the countries that were tariffing.
That is not true. So
Yeah.
when you're saying goods are coming over the border, Customs and Border Protections is taxing the other country.
Yes.
That is not how it works.
Hey,
It is
but
only
I'm a
released when
cigar
US
manufacturer
countries
who makes my product in Nicaragua. I know a lot about tariffs and how they work. And unfortunately for my industry, there's an 18% tariff in Nicaragua. But it's okay. I mean, listen, I'm willing to eat it because we have a very successful
Wait a
product
minute.
called
You just said
Mayflower.
Nicaragua was eating the cost, or you implied that other countries were eating the cost when it hit CPP.
Oh,
but you're eating the cost.
No, are you asking me if a manufacturer in another country has to bear that cost? Yes, of course.
Yeah,
but I'm saying it's a manufacturer in the other country.
No,
which in the case of premium cigars is outside the United
But
States.
you're eating the cost.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
but not everyone's going to eat that cost.
Not
A lot
everyone-
of
they'll
it
pass
is
it on
going to
to
go down
consumers.
to the consumer.
I would say the economic impact of the tariffs was priced in, I would say, even before Liberation Day.
Yeah.
Americans know what they're getting into as far as this. This is what they voted for.
Not all
and
of
that's
us.
also why, as Michael stated, we are at all-time highs for S&P. And inflation is back to 2 to 3%, if I'm not mistaken, and people have more money back to their paychecks. The other thing is the tariffs had nothing to do with the amount of revenue that we were bringing in. It was more about the accountability for other countries.
That's a nice distinction.
Wait,
That-
can I
that
ask
is
you
So
a
the
you
question?
voted to have prices raised? I'm confused. Oh, we knew what we were getting into. So you voted to have prices raised on
we
you.
voted for a president that wasn't going to fall asleep at the table with other.
Oh, he's asleep.
Yeah, he's just
leaders.
taking $400 million jets, doubling his net worth based off of crypto, and deporting people process whatsoever.
Yeah, and I would give you that. I 100%
But do
agree
you-
with that.
Can I ask you a question very,
go for
very
it.
quickly? You can claim that Donald Trump, it seems like you were trying to make the argument that he was rebalancing some of these deficits by holding countries accountable.
I would say it's not about accounting for deficits. It's about accountability and how we look on the main stage.
Yes,
it has nothing to do with
the trade
revenue.
deficit
It has
thing.
nothing to do with
in
revenue.
my humble opinion, the reason that he picked that is because it's so crazy.
But you realize we look batshit insane when
Yeah.
we're tariffing Switzerland, who we had free trade with. We had free trade with Switzerland, and we're tariffing them. We're tariffing Brazil. We're tariffing islands with nobody that lives there, but not Russia.
Americans will work every single job. They just want to be paid a wage that's worth it and treated well. The only reason, let me talk. The only reason that we have illegal immigration and so much legal immigration is because the corporate lobby wants cheap labor and they can treat their workers like shit.
Hey, hold on. I want to make a correction. The other reason is that Democrats want a permanent electoral majority.
Correct.
That's the other reason.
They want an electorate where they do not have to campaign. They don't need good ideas. They will just win every single election because of the people they imported.
That's funny
So,
because
okay, no, my
Latinos
qu-
went red.
No,
Latinos went closer to being red this election, so it's
Okay,
kind of
but
funny.
do you think that once we deport everyone, that suddenly Congress is going to raise minimum wage?
It's not about the
they're
minimum
not.
wage. It's
will
about
do that.
labor
No, and
economics.
also you should
Wages
be
go up
blaming
when there are
the
less people to do
corporate
the job.
men who are taking
Wages will go up when there's less
advantage
people
and
to do the
exploiting
job.
them.
That guy is seriously vying for a VIP table spot. A Mayflower.
you-
Wait.
No, I want to say something.
wait.
No, I want to say
Am
one
I
more
going to
thing.
go? Can I-
Okay, I want to say one more thing right now. So this whole mass deportation thing, first off, they're not going to raise minimum wage for you because everyone's
I'm not
fine.
asking you to do that.
And you
I'm
should-
not
I
asking
think,
you to do
corporate
that.
I think what he's saying is because
It's not
there-
about the minimum wage.
Right, because there are
But-
pressures on the labor market when you flood it with,
Correct.
with local.
I'm a
So you
contractor.
should blame the
I'm a
men at the top
contractor.
who are hiring and exploiting them. That's
Because
why.
they're available. That's
also,
the market.
this
That's
whole
the
mass
market.
deportation thing, just so everyone knows, it is all to fuel the racism in this country.
No, it's
when
not.
in reality,
No, it's not.
when in
it's not.
reality, stop. In reality, the only color that matters in this country is green. Are you green enough? And 99% of us are not. So you're not going to get a pass unless you can pay for it.
Yep. But yeah, but all,
Money.
But to our earlier point, if that were true, though, Ceci, the illegal aliens are a drain on resources at the state
Yep.
and local
They're
level.
not.
So
They're not.
They're not.
They're not.
according
though.
to
Can I have-
according
Yes,
to
they
the
are. They
CBO,
take more than they
are
put
the
in.
Congressional
They're
Budget
not.
Office.
Oh, the CBO that you guys don't trust when it's
And-
convenient for you?
But also according
Wait,
to the
do you
National
trust the
Academies
CBO
of
on the
Science.
big beautiful bill?
Well, I certainly trust it more than Adam Mockler. Do you believe the CBO or no?
Listen, if we enacted the mass deportation that Donald Trump wants, over the next decade, $900 billion would increase the deficit, 3.3% of
Who
our
pays for
GDP
their
would be hopped
insurance?
off. Okay, wait.
Who pays for their health care?
Wait, can I ask you a question?
have insurance.
Can I ask you a question? Would you be okay with people being here, immigrating here?
Probably not. No.
Listen,
Probably not.
Can I ask you
Probably
what?
not.
so you're just un-American.
Wait, I just want to
So
ask
you're
you
just
this.
un-American.
I wasn't born
just
here.
want to
I wasn't
ask
even
the
born here.
audience.
No,
You
I
weren't
don't
born
want-
here?
No.
And you don't want people to immigrate here?
Because we have more than enough.
Yeah, we
That
got
is
more than
pulling
way
you
more
away.
than enough.
You know what? You
Are
should
you
get out
gay
of
and you
my
hate
country.
gay people too?
It's my country
You weren't
too.
born here,
That doesn't matter.
right? That's the
Wait,
mindset.
guys.
No, it's not. I want to do what's
I don't
best
see
for
any
That's the
Americans here
contradiction
mindset,
today now.
and you're not from here.
That's okay.
You're a hypocrite. You're a
Okay.
hypocrite.
I don't think it's hypocritical to come to a
It's
country
100%
and then say
hypocritical.
we
I don't know.
shouldn't
That no
flood it
one
with
else is
foreigners.
allowed after
I don't really
me.
want this guy in my country. I don't know.
I do. I want to elect that
Nah,
guy
I
to,
think you
I don't know,
gotta go.
Senate or something. I definitely want that
goodness.
You're
guy.
also a little brown.
Jesus.
You say he looks brown?
That's what they're doing if you look the wrong skin color. If you have the wrong tattoos, they're just picking you up.
All right, do we have
That's
another
it.
question back there?
Wait, I have a question. Are you guys okay with ICE racially profiling?
Oh, so we got a bunch of racists in the audience.
Well, hold on. If
Are
you're
you
go-
okay
if
with ICE racially profiling?
I think if ICE is confronted with a little Norwegian grandma and a guy named Jose who doesn't speak a lick of English and either trying to pick up illegals, probably go for Jose, right?
That's
I
not what
think-
the racial
Is that
profiling
racial
that they're
profile?
doing?
Technically, that's probably
That's
racial
not what I'm
profiling.
talking about. You can go to
What
an
are you
extreme
talking
example.
about? I
but-
said you got a Norwegian and a Hispanic. You're picking up illegal
So
aliens.
you're
Who
picking
are you
the
gonna look
white
at?
person is what you're doing.
I would not pick the white person because
You
she
just said
didn't.
no.
She
You're
didn't come
hopping
here
to the
illegally.
most extreme example, but do you think you should be able to go somewhere, and if there's a group of people speaking Spanish, you should be able to directly target them due to the Spanish that they're speaking,
Well,
due to the
speaking
race?
speaking
due
Spanish
to their
is not a race.
I'm just talking about the profiling
Plenty
that
of
they
white
do.
people speak Spanish.
I'm
Even
talking
black
about
people do too.
They are
So that's not
profiling
race.
people
That's-
based on their language, their skin skin color and thing. That's what I'm saying. And are you
But
guys
hold on, that's different, Adam. That's a very important point. You're saying should we profile people based on strictly one criterion? And I would say probably not. That's probably a broad brush.
But they think we should.
Hold on,
The audience thinks we should. So you
what
disagree
if-
with your own audience.
No. You just said.
Wait, should we racial
hold on,
profile?
Hold on. But what you just said was race, speaking a foreign
That's what
language
they're doing.
in an enclave that's segregated from the mainstream community, speaking in their own way. Well, now you got like 5 different touch points. Yes, I would
Okay,
say Tom
here's
Homan, round him up.
Here's the problem. The Trump administration has admitted they have done illegal deportations. When they brought back Kilmar Armando Abrego Garcia.
Kilmar Abrego, give me a break.
Wait.
This gangster from Maryland, the Democrat
Wait.
Senator Chris Van Hollen, love of his life.
Wait a minute. If he's
Yes.
a gangster, why did the Trump administration bring him back?
He's being prosecuted right now in the United States.
Why did they bring him back?
Because some 2-bit federal judge made him do it, so now he's being prosecuted here.
Why would they agree if it was just Trump always disagrees with judges? Why
Because-
would he bring him back? It's
Because Trump's not a tyrant like you people always say that he is. He follows the law, he listens to the courts, and he works within the system of laws. Okay, now
people claim that he is trying to hold countries accountable in a targeted way. That's not what's happening. It is broad, sweeping tariffs that make no sense,
They make
that
no
you admitted
sense.
were confusing, and now you guys have to reverse engineer some sort of weird cognitive...
No, because look, you make this point about Europe. You're making the point about Switzerland, but let's talk about the European Union. You would say, well, this is crazy. These allies of ours, why are we smacking them with these insane tariffs? And why this doesn't make sense? We need to just put even more sanctions on Russia or whatever. But notice now, we have a great trade deal with the European Union. We're dealing with like a 15% tariff. We got $600 billion from them to invest in our country. So obviously it was just a way to negotiate. And it also happens to raise revenue and boost manufacturing.
minute. No,
but
no,
those
no,
are
no,
those
no,
are
no.
those are ancillary effects.
Okay, if you're negotiating to reshore manufacturing, then you can't be raising revenue off of tariffs because nobody's going to be importing anything.
That's what you'd think. It actually takes a very delicate balance to be able to serve all three interests.
Oh my lord, so
but
Trump
he's
is
done
playing
it.
40 chess right now with other
No,
countries.
it's just the numbers don't lie. Okay, next question.
For years, the U.S. has been screwed over by China, Europe, South America. This isn't just about short term. We need to be looking at long term. We need to be looking at 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. Since NAFTA, we have been screwed over.
USA! You make a great point. You make a great point.
Now. Stop looking at the last 2, 3, 4, 5 months. We need to be looking at 5 years, 10 years, 20 years from now. These tariffs are setting a message that the U.S. will not be screwed over.
Amazing.
Yeah, I
Let
love
me
it.
ask
I
you
love
a
it.
question. We need to rebalance trade and stop China from ripping us off.
And Donald Trump is here to stand up for us.
Then let me
and
ask you,
say,
what
no,
deal has he cut with China?
We are done.
What deal has he cut with China?
We don't
This
necessarily need
isn't
to
about
balance the
right
trade.
now.
What deal
This
has he
is
cut with
about
China?
setting the future. This is about setting us up for
No
5
answer.
years, 10
No.
years.
No
30
answer.
I'll give you
years
an
from
answer.
now.
What
on it.
deal has he
I'll
cut with China?
I'll give you an answer on it because you're saying, well, we need to balance trade. But that's what
No.
my
What?
thesis
My question is,
or no,
what
you-
deal has he set with China? Because you are saying that he set a deal with China. He has
what
set
deal?
2 90-day delays. You
Yeah.
can't answer what a deal is. He can't answer what a deal is.
No,
Nobody can
I'm
answer what the
I'm
deal
trying
is.
to answer it to you, even on the delays, which are obviously strategic. The point of setting the trade equilibrium as being the metric is because it's so crazy and kind of impossible in certain cases. Obviously, what's he going after in China? China's trade issues with us for 25 years have been illegally subsidizing steel, manipulating their currency,
IP.
stealing our IP, all of these things, right? Now, all of the previous presidents, since we stupidly let China into the World Trade Organization, all of them went at that directly. They got no results whatsoever. Trump comes in like a bull in a china shop, pun intended, and he does in the first term and he does in the second term, and he says, no, I'm going to pick this totally random metric, namely the trade deficits, and I'm going to start punching people around until we get better deals on all of the
Michael,
above.
I'm going to ask my question one more time.
Yeah.
What deal did he get with China?
What specifically are you asking me?
I'm
What
asking
deal
you,
did he
what
get?
deal did this person just came up to the mic and said Trump took office and is going to hold China accountable?
But what did
All
he do?
Trump has done is pussyfooted and delayed 90 times, and you're sitting here stuttering
But
because you
I
can't.
don't get.
Okay, then answer the deal. What deal has he cut with China? No, shut up. What deal has he cut with China?
No, but I think.
No,
Adam,
listen, answer right now.
But Adam, we've been addressing your point because you're saying he didn't get a deal quickly enough. He didn't get a deal in 30 days. or
There's
60
no
days.
deal. What's his framework?
But you're saying I don't like.
You're
the delay.
looking at
I'm
the
trying to
short
answer
term.
you.
This
If
is
your
a
point- if your
long-term
point
play.
is, if your point is, Adam, well, Trump hasn't gotten this trade deal done within 30 or 60 or 90 days. I ask, where's Joe Biden's
been
trade
200
deal?
days.
Where's Barack Obama's great
Joe
trade deal?
Biden
Didn't
put
solve any of the underlying problems with Chinese trade.
Joe Biden
Biden-
put targeted tariffs on China. He didn't put tariffs tariffs on the world like a retard. I'm sorry. He's not a retard.
Stop talking.
Donald Trump
It's very
is.
ableist
Stop
language.
talking.
I don't
care.
like that language.
Wokeness is dead.
Ableist language.
Wokeness is dead, Michael.
Woke is dead. That's true.
Okay, I'm
Trump
gonna
is a
say
retard.
something really
Yeah,
quick.
sassy.
I am totally
Yes.
here. I'm so here for doing more American manufacturing, more exporting. I totally agree with that. But you guys know that Trump has all his made in China, right? Okay, I just
No, he
want to
doesn't.
point out
That's
the
not,
hypocrisy
that's not true.
there.
That's a calumny. He makes his stuff in America. He actually does.
Okay.
He does. I have the hat. I got the hat in
Who has the hat
2016.
on?
It's
Who
made in
the fuck has
America.
the hat on right now?
It is. It is. It's great. There are a lot of knockoffs,
Yeah.
though. That's another way China's stealing our IP. They're stealing our MAGA hat.
Can I point something out very quickly?
Yeah.
I got to have one topic tonight, and it was tariffs. I think I just ran around the room on tariffs because you couldn't name a deal, you couldn't
What are
name
you
a deal,
talking about?
and nobody could name anything that Trump has accomplished.
Hold on. Adam. You brought up tariffs, and I was happy to talk about it. You said it was a disaster for the American people.
You said it was confusing.
I asked you to cite a specific economic measure by which it was a disaster. You couldn't. I cited every economic measure, which is an
you want me to
all-time
cite
high.
a few? GDP.
I asked you to
GDP
already.
Oh, yeah, I got you.
Negative
Listen.
0.5.
GDP contracted in the first quarter. PPI is going up. Electricity has gone up 10%. And all of that.
Electricity has gone up. That's the best you
And
got.
all
Give
of
me
that
a
is
break.
because the tariffs
Give me a
have
break.
not come into place yet. The tariffs have not even really started.
So hold on.
14
The
days
tariffs
ago.
have destroyed our economy, but they also haven't come into place
No,
yet.
I didn't.
Okay,
When did I say
all
they
right,
destroyed our
got
economy?
it.
I said
but
they've been
it's
an
making it
unmitigated
volatile.
disaster, Michael.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the tariffs, which don't exist, have been terrible. Now, who is the VIP of that round?
Yeah,
I say the
30%.
USA guy, right? Where's he?
Which one was that?
All right, there we go. Now, VIP table. You blessed few. I have a question. Molly, you can relay this. Did we solve the world's problems? If not, we didn't. If not, is there something you would like us to hash out in our final remaining moments before the music comes back on?
So, okay, Mr. Panel, you keep saying that Michael couldn't name a deal, he couldn't name a deal.
Are you going to name a China deal? Name it.
No, I'm not going to try
The
to do it.
trick is
No.
there's no deal yet. That's
But
the big trick
first
of the
all,
question.
okay, deals take time.
Obviously.
And in order to strike a deal, China's not going to do it because they're nice, okay? You need to put pressure on them. You need them to bleed for a long period of time, okay? And so my understanding is Trump's putting a tariff so they bleed for a long period of time, and then they come to the table and there's a negotiation. What else should he do? What can we add?
President Mockler?
What should Donald Trump add to the tariffs? Maybe some clarity to the tariffs.
Yeah.
When it comes to China, he has not gotten a single deal, and I guess there are
You're
ways
just
to do this.
restating the question. What specifically, what would you make clear if you're going to add clarity?
Okay, what Donald Trump does is he sets these arbitrary deadlines and pushes them back. When Donald Trump set that first 90-day
You're
deadline
evading the
with China,
question.
no,
You're
no,
totally evading the
clarity
question.
with deadlines. I'm asking you right now, clarity with deadlines.
Deadlines,
He
okay.
set a 90-day deadline with China. What did he do to that 90-day deadline? Wait, let me listen. What did he do to that 90-day deadline?
Trump has pushed deadlines. Now answer the
Wait,
question.
no. Maybe not push deadlines and hold people
Okay.
accountable. He's
Okay.
pushed the
Anything
deadline
else?
back and back and back.
Okay, don't push
what you can
deadlines.
do is
Anything else?
You can tariff the countries that China trades with to put pressure on them. There's so many ways to place pressure on China. What Donald Trump is doing is f***ing around. He's not getting a single deal.
But he is tariffing countries that China trades.
So you bleed China by tariffing
But he's already
Vietnam,
doing that.
tariffing the countries surrounding them.
He's already doing that. He
He's
tariffed
tariffing
the
Brazil
entire world.
more.
He tariffed the whole world.
He's tariffing Brazil more.
But he's tariffing like literally every
What he's
country on
doing
Earth.
is destroying our
So he's already doing that.
relationships.
Is there anything that Trump is not doing, because you're so upset about his China policy, is there anything he's not doing that you would do other than do it faster or whatever?
Wait, can I ask you a quick question right here?
Sure.
You said that it takes time to do trade deals. Wasn't Trump's entire motto 90 deals in 90 days?
I mean, that's what he said.
Why? Okay, wait. Didn't he also say he'll end the
negotiates.
Ukraine war on day one? Can I ask you guys in the crowd?
He
Did
is
he get
doing the
90
most.
deals in 90 days? No. Did he end the war? No. This dude is a weak
Who
dude who
else
does
is
not know what to do.
He
Who
ended
else
it.
All
is trying-
top.
Who else is trying to defend America?
Who else is trying to tariff every country like a f***ing retard?
Who
Donald
else
Trump?
is giving
just-
their
you just
effort
advocated
24/7
tariffing all
for
those
our
countries.
country?
You
Who
just
else
advocated
is
doing
trying
that.
to save America like Donald Trump? Who else is waking up to save America?
No,
Who
let me
else
say
is
something.
trying like
no,
Trump?
let me say something. When you want to make a fucking deal with someone, you need to schmooze. You need to do this and that. You don't bully people and strongman them.
You need an
No, but-
ultimatum.
because
Made
reality
forward.
is-
Adam's
Straight.
point. Adam's complaining that Trump is schmoozing and being too diplomatic,
No.
and he's saying he's got to bully him more.
No,
and get him
I'm
faster.
saying that
He
he's
is bullying.
perpetually pushing back deadlines, and he looks like a pussy.
you guys are
admitted that he had a
disagreeing now.
90-day deadline.
he
Okay,
does.
listen.
You're agreeing with us and with the VIP
No,
tape.
Can I ask you a
Yes.
question?
I
Yeah.
don't like.
Do you remember
the
when
fact
Trump
he's
said there would be
bullying.
severe consequences on Vladimir Putin if they did not get a deal in Alaska? He said severe consequences. He left that meeting, and not only were there not severe consequences, but Donald Trump has since adopted Putin's position. You see the same framework when it
Adopted
comes
Putin's
Wait,
position?
listen,
What are you talking about,
I will
adopted
answer in
Putin's
1
position?
second. You see the same framework when it comes to tariffs. You asked me what I would do differently. I would add clarity and I would finish the deadlines. He put a 90-day deadline on China. When we hit that 90 days, our president
Adam,
delayed
that
it
is a
another 90
non-answer.
days.
You can't say, I'd be clear and fast. Clear and fast about what? Then you say, I would tariff other countries. He's already doing that, and you were complaining about it.
No, you
so
tar-
what was the other thing that you would do?
I
So
would
how-
not tariff all countries. I would just not even start with the tariffs. I would not start with the tariffs.
You would not tariff anybody. But you would also tariff all the countries
Okay,
around
how about
China.
this?
Okay,
I would do targeted tariffs against China like Trump did in his first administration.
Okay.
What Trump is doing is tearing up trade deals that he negotiated
Hey,
himself.
listen, if your problem with Trump second admin is you'd prefer the Trump first admin, that's a pretty good
Can I answer your
criticism.
question
I'll
about
tell you.
Putin?
That's okay. That's
Can
all
I
right.
answer your question about Putin?
Sure.
When Donald Trump went into this deal, went into this Alaska meeting,
Yeah.
he was promising a ceasefire, right?
He asked for a ceasefire.
He said
yeah.
there would be severe consequences if there was no ceasefire.
Yeah.
After he left, guys, it's a free country. It's a free country. After he left, what he did is he said, I don't want a ceasefire anymore. I want a peace deal. What that has allowed Putin to do is not negotiate for short-term peace. He has killed hundreds of civilians in Ukraine since Donald Trump said he doesn't want a ceasefire. What Donald Trump is doing is falling into the Putin framework of using negotiations to inevitably delay. What Russia does, they're smart, dude. They're very, very smart.
Interesting.
They delay. They kill people.
So hold on. Your issue with Trump convening a summit in Alaska, getting Putin there, then convening Zelensky and the European leaders 3 days later in the White House to work on not just a ceasefire but a broader peace deal. Your problem is you say, well, the war is going on 3 extra days and civilians are dying.
No.
I don't remember you saying any of that when Joe Biden was president, encouraging the war to continue. I don't
was not
remember hearing that.
encouraging the
I
war
don't-
to continue.
He
He was using
absolutely
peace
was
through
encouraging the war. Joe Biden and unfortunately not only the Democrats but many squishes on the Republican Party were advocating for the war from a grand strategic standpoint because they said it was degrading the Russian military and it was a meat grinder in Ukraine.
No.
They were advocating for
No.
more debts and for the war to go on. And the only party that was calling for peace at all was the Republican Party.
No, this
and
is not peace.
And the only
This is
president
not
on
peace.
whose watch Vladimir Putin has not further invaded a country in the last quarter century is Donald Trump.
Let's be real here. Maybe you all saw the whole meeting between Trump and Putin. Trump is Putin's bitch. He sat down and spoke before our president. I'm sorry.
Well, it's so strange. I don't know because
Yes.
I don't know. Trump has levied much tougher sanctions on Vladimir Putin than Barack Obama
he
or
is
Joe Biden.
not.
That's kind of strange.
No,
That's so
he's
No,
strange.
he is not.
No.
I don't.
he's not.
He didn't. And he didn't lift sanctions.
In his
and he
first
also-
term you're talking about, maybe. Are you talking
Yeah,
about his first term?
And well, we're 7 months into
Can I
this
just
term,
say,
and he's calling.
the only way to end this war is to make it such that Vladimir Putin is facing such severe consequences that he will never reinvade. Russia has this strategy of launching an invasion, then they pause that invasion, then they reinvade. They've done it with multiple countries. They did it in 2008, in 2014, in 2022.
Yeah.
We cannot allow...
You're right. They did it under Bush and Obama and Biden, and not Trump. That's
Okay,
really weird. Isn't
how
it?
come through
I
Trump's-
think I'll go with Trump's strategy.
Wait, through Trump's 4 years, Crimea was occupied.
Almost 5 years now.
Yeah.
His first 4 years, Crimea was occupied.
Right, but he didn't further invade, is what I said.
The thing is, Russia has a strategy of launching an invasion, pausing that, then reinvading. We
Yeah.
need a peace deal that makes sure
Yeah.
Russia cannot just
I agree.
reinvade.
Listen, I agree.
And they'll go
I
against
thought
that deal anyway.
the Obama doctrine, as written by Jeffrey Goldberg in the Atlantic interviewing the president, that said that Vladimir Putin could operate within his strategic sphere of influence.
If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more debates, more formats like this, comment bar fights, and make sure you drop a like on this video. I appreciate you all, and we're going to do some amazing debates over the next year. Peace out.